We are live at the Oxford Sports Pub and Secret Society here in Altamont Mall in Altamont Springs, Florida. Did I get that right?
You did, and we can't make this shit up.
I can't make this
We
shit
are.
up.
We are. We got new lighting today. We're
Hey.
gonna make sure that we're doing things the right way. We were just talking about how trying to make sure my gut doesn't show up.
Yeah, we're
So-
trying to make sure that the guts aren't showing, lose a little weight.
Man, go back into. I need to go back into service and then and stop. Be able to run again would be nice.
Joel, that goes back to what we were talking about, before, and that means, biking to the office. But you and I, and John,
Uh-huh.
and whoever else, we should do like a boot camp, just amongst us, to kind of encourage us and kind of not get back into shape, because I think we're in good shape. It's just like tone up.
Here's what we do, right? We will do a extra broadcast. We'll do a Tuesday set at like the Crunch or something, get them to back one of our. I mean, we could do it at Planet Fitness too. I don't care where. I'm just saying we could do the broadcast there, and we could talk about. Have one of them talk about what we need to do to actually get rid of a gut, so we can share with everybody else what we're doing to get better and healthier. So
Exactly. I like that idea, especially with we're already in the new election cycle. It gets crazy busy. We're rarely home. We're always eating out at some restaurant or cafe or whatever, and those pounds,
they're good. It's
they
like,
back on.
and you can't look at a menu. You can't look at a menu and try to everything you look at on the menu, you go, I should be eating this, but then everything leads to, man, that's the best thing on the menu, and I don't need meatloaf today, but for $6.99, I'm going to do the meatloaf lunch menu, and I'm getting mashed potatoes and it's just it's so good.
I just started to just say, okay, David, you're getting down to the weight that you want to get at, and you're back into your regular, routine of walking, playing tennis and whatever. And I like that feeling. I like, being able to walk up 4 flights of stairs to my apartment, carrying, all my stuff, and walking right back down, and having that energy and having a good night's rest.
So David, yesterday I was at the doctor. So you talk about all this great stuff.
Yes.
So when you deal with the VA, you really try to do all your appointments at the same time if you can. It really makes it convenient. You go in, take care of a whole day. So like yesterday was my day. Everything from psychologists to cardiologists. You can see everybody in one day. But I needed to stop by my primary care doctor because the one thing out of everything that I wanted was I wanted heartburn medicine, because I have acid reflux.
Are you still having that problem?
And I ran out of medication, and my new doctor has never prescribed that to me. So I was like, I go in, I tell the doctor, tell the person what I want. They go, "Who's your doctor?" And I go, The one with no personality. The whole room knew exactly who I was talking about. Because my doctor, she's like, boom, 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 boom. And there's no interaction. It's
right.
What, you need Viagra? Okay. I can give you 9 tablets a month. She's like,
She's
cut and dry.
About the business. Just about the business.
Yep.
Wow.
I told her my dick didn't work, and she was like, I don't care. I can give you 9.
But we should really consider your idea of going to a fitness center or whatever they call them nowadays, and maybe them sponsoring our fitness boot camp regime.
Yeah, we can.
And
there's so many
podcasts from there, and
there's so many great, talented people that work at these places that. It would be nice. Hey, let's go to Planet Fitness. Let's go to Crunch. Let's go to LA Fitness. And now they got the new sport. I forget what. bought some of the LA Fitnesses. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not too familiar with the different fitness centers. I've got a fitness center in my apartment complex that I go to or walk past almost every day. But I think it's something that we should definitely consider.
So we got to do the WWE place too, because there's one of those I saw. There's one of those over in Winter Springs, and I'm like dying to see what goes on in there. See they have the mat all up in there. They
Lord.
have the it's like, what do they do? Do they box in there? Do they kickbox in there?
Yeah, that'll be definitely a boot camp.
That's got to be the last. No, that's the last one we ever do.
Right.
That's the tech. That's the test of all time.
But as men, men's health is important, and men typically don't really pay attention to their health. Men really don't, make that a priority, but we should. We definitely should do that and be more conscious of our health and see our doctors on a regular basis and do what we need to do to stay healthy. But I think generally we're healthy young men.
We try.
Right. So the topic for this segment is
health care.
Yes, it is. And
women's health care.
My notes are I have John's phone here. I'm gonna.
Yeah. So
he's gonna open up the notes for me.
So while he's opening up the notes, we're gonna talk about women's health care. We're gonna talk about some of the Florida legal system. We're gonna talk about a subject that you and I often talk about, but don't bring up in our podcast because it's one of those controversial. Hey, I'm a Republican. You know what side I'm on. You're a Democrat. You know what your side is. But we get to talk about the judges and some of the rulings that happen because we're a parental right state. So a parent has the right to know if their child has to seek an abortion.
Correct.
But at the same with the same, but you can get a waiver. So you can go before a judge and you can get a waiver. And this waiver that you can get is what we're going to talk about.
Right.
Because it's a judge. So I just wanted to bring that up while you were getting set up because that's all I know.
And so this topic comes from the Orlando Sentinel's article on February the 9th. It's titled, Florida Judges Arbitrarily Denied Minors' Requests for Abortions Last Year, Reports Fines. Yeah. And in essence, Human Rights Watch stated that lawyers who have represented young people in these cases talk about how a young person's clothing, their posture, or their manner of speaking can influence a judge's decision. And so this ranges, the report covers cases that were before Florida judges between January and November of 2022. Approximately 18 of 210 requests for waivers by children looking to bypass the state's parental consent law for abortion were denied. That's approximately 9% of all requests made. So
9% were denied?
Approximately 9%, 8.6% to be precise.
Well, then that's not an issue, is it?
Well, what the issue is, and reason why the topic
is... the issue is that 9% got denied.
No.
That anybody got denied.
No, the issue is the basis of...
No. The basis is this group decided that 9% got denied and we want 100% because we are totally on board. They should be able to avoid the parental. That's what the story's about. I mean, that's what it's about.
I don't see it that way. I see the report, the Human Rights Watch, you're saying.
I see Human Rights Watch as the liberal organization that wants to get everybody.
What was the reason why these judges in those 9% of cases determined that they were not going to grant?
I understand the arbitrary, and I'm gonna stay on that, but I'm going to also ridicule the Sentinel, and I'm going to ridicule, the Human Rights Watch because what are they doing? They're saying that 9% are denied. We want 100%. So in other words, you want 100% of these to go past without parents knowing about abortion.
Right. Well,
so that's I want to be clear.
Don't shoot the messenger.
I just want to be clear.
Or Human Rights Watch.
I'm sending out a message that we are going to talk about something, but I've already come into it with I'm exposing where I'm at, because I'm upset that I would rather 50 to 75% of these parents know what's going on.
Okay.
Because I believe in the law. Like, a parent should know that their child is in need.
Right.
So I'm telling everybody out there that 9%, come on. I'm
We're
good.
denied.
I'm good with 9% being denied, and I don't care what the reason was. That, to me, because I think this organization has an agenda, and I just want the agenda out there. Because David, you know, you are a better debater on some things, but I like to get to the root on things.
Sure.
So I want people out there say, "Oh, so Joel just doesn't like this organization." Well, that's true. I don't like the organization, but it's not about human rights. I don't think this is about human rights.
Okay.
And that's why I don't believe that's what they're trying to do. I think their agenda is to expose the fact that these judges deny a child because they're wearing the wrong footwear, or they don't. They come in and this is what they're saying.
And that's the point I want to get to.
Right, and that's where I'm going with you. So I'm saying. So for me, that's not a problem. Like, I would want more denied for more reasons. But okay, so you come in with Nikes, you get denied, but you come in with Adidas, you get approved. So let's talk.
Okay, so now saying that, I see your point. You know, the Orlando Sentinel is just reporting on Human Rights Watch's report.
They're
putting that aside. Wait, let me finish. I'll let you speak.
Yep, I got you.
The Human Rights Watch report is based on the facts of the individual cases. Approximately 200 cases, 9% of those were denied. And so, looking at the denial, the facts of each case, the factual statements by those particular judges for the rationale to deny the abortion for these minors, because like you said, you know, they wore the wrong shoes, or they didn't have a learner's permit for a license, or they didn't speak clearly. Reasons that were very arbitrary in my estimation, and in a way, immature on the part of the judge. And I say that because we're talking about children who have found themselves in a situation that they're asking a court of law for an abortion. And of course, they're asking a court of law to grant them
additional privacy.
Okay, grant them additional privacy, but to allow them to get the abortion, that's the end game.
To put the decision in their hands.
Correct.
At the young age that they are.
Correct.
Without parental consent.
Correct.
So
right, I understand that. I understand that. And to be honest, I do kind of agree with you. I prefer, if it was my child, I want to be a part of that decision. These children, the 9% of the cases are saying, I don't want to I don't want my parents to be involved, or my guardian to be a part of this conversation, this decision making. I think by the time you get to the court, I mean, really, I mean, the family, the children, the guardian, they're aware. They're standing by their guns. They don't want this to happen. The children are in front of the judge. A very vulnerable situation for them. It takes a very mature. I remember I've testified hundreds, maybe thousands of times in front of a judge when I was working in child welfare in Illinois. It's difficult. It's daunting. It's intimidating. And for a young child in their teens trying to explain, or even younger, trying to explain why they don't want to follow the consent of or not follow the decision of their guardian or parent. That's difficult. And to assume that they're going to be at a certain level of maturity and to approach a judge in the proper attire, or it's an intimidating situation as it is, and
but it wasn't intimidating.
But the reasons for their decision is, to me, is immature in itself.
Okay, so we get to talk about. I love it because we're talking about they choose not to tell their parent or guardian that they want an abortion.
Or by the time they come to court, their guardian or parents are already aware.
You're making an assumption.
Come on. Oh, Mom, Dad, I'm not going to school today. I'm going to court. Why are you going to court?
Most of these children have probably already left home. They probably already trying to get emancipated or whatever. I don't know the situation, but I do know that they weren't intimidated when they took their clothes off. They weren't intimidated when they decided to have an act of physical aggression inside the backseat of a car or wherever it was. And now I sound like really off the chain, but I'm like,
yes,
choice starts
yes,
at the beginning.
Yes, it's so as human beings, as biological creatures, things happen.
Okay.
I disagree with you. I believe the legal guardian, excuse me, the legal guardian or the parent or whoever's responsible for that child is aware that that child is in front of a judge seeking an abortion. If they're seeking emancipation, that comes before.
I understand that. I understand. No, you're not.
I've been there. I've been there with my clients.
You're saying the only reason that this child went to court is because there's a parent that's already been notified, but that can't be because they're trying to get away from the parental notification, or are they trying to make sure that the parent? Because all you have to do is inform the parent. It doesn't the parent doesn't have to agree with it.
Right. But logically, though.
But I'm talking about that. You're right, but I'm saying
you're making
this different than it is because
it's a process.
The process is
you're seeking consent.
I don't want to get my parental. I don't want my parent involved.
Right.
There's a reason they want their parent involved.
Correct.
The reason why, almost 80% are approved is because there might be retribution towards the child. There may be, there's a reason a judge has gotten involved. There's a reason the child fears that process.
But logically,
that's the reason we have this in place. Is because we don't want the child to be abused or taken advantage. Like,
right,
listen, there are parents that are horrible parents, right?
Sure.
And we're not going to ever get that. You met many of those when you were in child services. You met many of these parents where you'd like, man, I see the exact reason why this person needs to be in front of a judge.
There were some difficult parents, yes.
So, I mean, that's what the law is for, is to be able to avoid that confrontation. So, 80% get approved. So, I just want to kind of 81, 82, it doesn't, 81%. The fact is, we're talking about a judge arbitrarily saying, I don't think you're mature enough to make this decision on your own.
Right.
Which should have been
based on the
been
article.
all of them.
Based on the article.
Yeah,
and I must admit, I have not read the report, the Human Rights Watch report. However, based on the article, it appears that, again, the decision by those particular judges in making their decision to deny the request of that child is very simplistic and sophomoric, in my opinion. It's my opinion.
No, and I'm not saying that.
I'd rather that the kids don't have to have an abortion. I agree.
you and I are in this place where it's almost like it sounds like we're fighting, but we're not fighting because guess what? You're talking about the decision itself, right? Being
by the judge.
By the judge.
Right, the basis of their decision, yes.
So the judge comes out and says, well, I don't like the color of your eyes and
your pants are hanging below your...
because you don't dress properly,
right.
Or, hey, you don't have
your
you don't have your driver's license yet. Hey, you've never babysat before. Okay, so what does that have to do with what they're there for? I get what you're saying. That's like when I want a writ. I want to read a writ.
Sure.
I want to read something that says, as robust. It says something. It should say, I made this decision to refuse this child because there is no danger
right.
to this child telling the parent. There is no danger for this child to be able to do the regular process. That's what I agree with you. Mm-hmm. So when the findings are stuff like arbitrary, but what is a judge? A judge is going to have an arbitrary decision because some of these decisions they may never ever approve one.
And then let me clarify, to take that further, you make a very good point. To take that further, there is probably more to that decision, as you said, than just the statement, oh, you're not mature enough because your pants are hanging off your ass, or, you cannot speak clearly, you can't make your case. There's probably more. And shame on the Orlando Sentinel if they did not bring that out more. And, news this day is, they give you what they want want you to read.
And you're right.
But then, again, that falls back on me to do my own damn research.
But it is a good press release because you think about it. Mm-hmm. I'm sitting in a newsroom and I'm looking for some news, and I find that there are judges out there denying people justice because of the color of their hair. I mean, you're definitely going to read that press release. I'm saying. I mean, you're not going to avoid it. So it's good press,
right?
And they get to be seen, and this is why we get paid the big bucks to make sure that press release gets noticed.
That's true.
So I'm not going to blame the Sentinel.
Just make a good point. That's
true. Blame the Sentinel. Sentinel said, we can report about judges being bad stewards of the law. We're going to do it. Right. So I applaud the Orlando Sentinel on this one and I applaud the people that I just told you I don't care for.
Right.
Because they did the right thing and they did a good job and they got it in the news, and that's what they're paid for. But I want everybody to leave here knowing that 81% of these cases were approved. So we are talking about 9%. We're talking about a very small portion of judges that have very poor decision-making process.
Or very poor way of...
That's what I'm saying. No, the poor... Yeah, because it's not a good writ.
Stating there.
It's not a good writ.
Right.
It's like saying that Scalia didn't write the whole point when he does the Supreme Court, right? He writes why he denied it, and then he writes the reason, the constitutional reason. It's really, he doesn't go, well, I didn't do it because, I'm a Second Amendment guy, so.
Which is really important for voters to know who they're going to be voting for when they vote for judges.
Especially judges. Judges, no, I think judges, you just hit my button, right? And it's yours too, I think. It's like, you need to know, judges are judges, and you need to know what their legal stands are. You need to know if they agree with you, because you get to choose here in Florida whether they stay on, or you can replace them. Most places, it's just, well, the governor put them in there, and they stay in there for as long as they can.
Right.
Federal judges, you can't touch them.
That's correct.
So you want your Supreme Court justice gone? You can get rid of your Supreme Court justice in the state of Florida.
Do your research.
And research, and know what you're voting on. So, again, that's one of those bring America together again things. We both agree, but we vote differently, but we both agree.
Yeah.
You need to know who your judges are.
Yes.
And that's where I think we end this thing, because I think that in agreement, at a point, of agreement. We agree these judges need to be better judges, and I think we agree on that.
I agree.
Awesome.
So, hey, everyone, if you're not registered to vote, register to vote. And again, support us, make comments, let us know how you feel. What you think is what we really want to know. What do you think? Do your own research, and please like, share, hit the notification button. This is You Can't Make This Shit Up. That's Joel. I'm David.
You can't make this shit up, David. I want to say one more thing. It is your power. It is in your hands. Mm-hmm. You can do this. So what we're asking you to do is get more people involved, and then you get involved.
Exactly.
I want to know if you've been in front of one of these judges. I want to know that you've had this. You can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up. Hair color, driver's license. This is why this is on our show, because this is crazy. And that's why we bring crazy out to you. And if you've experienced it, bring it to us. So again, be part of the audience. Be part of the growth of You Can't Make This Shit Up. So I just wanted to put that in there because, David, I think we do a good job because we say the same thing like everybody else. We need the likes, we need the shares, we need the subscriptions. But really what we want is we want you to be educated.
Yes.
And you want you to educate others because it's a simple thing. You're not paying attention? Let somebody else do the research. We can explain what's going on. We explained an article, and I complimented and ridiculed the same company because they did the right thing and they've done, their research is kind of poor to me. But that's why you can't make this shit up.
All right. Thank you. Awesomeness.
You can't make
good.
this shit